Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian from Superboard Sunday, and man, we just kicked off Virtual Gaming Con 2020, first annual question mark. Regardless, we're doing a Virtual Gaming Con all weekend, Wednesday today to Sunday, and it kicked off early this morning, and it's sponsored by Board Game Geek, Dice Tower. In lieu of physical meeting, we're doing a virtual. So we'll be doing a bunch of events ourselves, playing a lot of games for sure, but we're hopefully going to be hosting and streaming a lot of this as the days go by. So I'm taking my lunch break today, early, to stream to you the solo version, or the solo game of Tang Garden. Not very inclusive, I know, but it's kind of a redo because I streamed this game last week and I got a couple rules wrong, so I want to get them right so I can at least teach you how to play the game for real and not win like I did last week and then find out that I had a few rules wrong. So we'll get to it in a second, but thanks everyone for joining. And I know we're going to be on the Board Game Geek site on boardgamegeek.com/live, but if you want to find out more about the Virtual Gaming Con, if you're watching this in the past, you can check, or in the future, you can go over to boardgamegeek.com/VGC. Get your tickets. Tickets are $10, and they go higher than that if you want to get some perks as well. And you can host your own events, and just like a regular game convention, look for games, look for teachers, look for players, things like that. Let's get into it. We're talking about Tang Garden here. I know in a gaming convention it's kind of weird to play a solo game, but here we are. And I wanted to, for those that want to learn the game on how to play it solo, I highly recommend it. It's a decent solo. It does vary from the multiplayer game, so if you know the multiplayer, some of the rules from that kind of vary from that, so we're going to get into it. And just a quick shout out, tonight we'll be doing a Tiny Town stream. I hope to be doing some more Rallyman streams as well throughout the weekend, but I want to take my lunch break right now to get through this game, because it is kind of quick. It's quick in two ways. One, the game flows very quickly, but it can also end quickly in a loss, but we'll get to that in a second. So I'm playing on Tabletop Simulator, just because I find this easier to use on my end. It moves a little quicker. I'm also, if you hear in the background, soundtrack, because the game has a soundtrack on Spotify, which you can listen to. I don't know if this will be taken down. I'm gonna reach out to the creator to make sure that it's okay to put this on YouTube later. But as far as live is concerned, you're gonna listen to it now. And I appreciate that follow. So yeah, you can find the soundtrack on the on Spotify, on Apple Music, on wherever, and it's hopefully it's not too loud. I try to dial it in before I started, so we're doing that. So we got that going on right here. Backseat, what's going on? Thanks for the follow. So we're gonna get into this. So Tang Garden Solo is different than the multiplayer. So if you play the multiplayer, please detach yourself from that, because there are some limitations with this game. But we're gonna start out by stating the obvious. In the solo game, you are not collecting, you're not doing any set collection whatsoever. You're not scoring points based on that. The only way you're scoring points is basically money, by collecting these coins. And at the end of the game, the goal is to place all the tiles on these red spots and these tiles here. And I'll get to why these red spots are here in a second, but you want to fill all these spots in with these tiles. And once you do that, then you can get to scoring and seeing how you did. So it's kind of one of those solos where if you don't get to a certain point by a certain point, you will lose and you won't score anything. So scoring the game during play doesn't really matter to you. You want to fill all these spots here. Now the game comes with these tokens, obviously. These tokens refer to, over here, these landscape tiles. When you build a tile, even in the normal game, when you put a tile on a space that has these tokens, you remove the token and you grab a landscape tile and place it. These red cubes don't come with the game, but even in my physical game, which I have, I brought some bits out, because in the solo game, you are only limited to these spaces. The spaces with these tiles and these little bits on it, you can only place there. So you're never going to be placing tiles outside of this area as you would in a normal game. But you can place anywhere where these red bits are. So these don't come with the game, but it's for me to keep track of where I can and can't build. So even in the game, it has like a shaded area in the manual here. So when I place a tile, I'm just going to remove this, and it's just to keep track of where to place a game. So if you have the base game yourself and want to try it, just grab some bits from another game that you're not using. I happen to have some lying around to use, so worth it. Now, the main structure of the solo game are obviously tile laying and placing these cards. So what I'm going to do right now is I've shuffled all these tiles, these stacks of tiles. We're going to flip over the first stack, the first tile in each stack. It's a really interesting mechanism. There are a few different ways to lose this game. One I had already mentioned, where if you don't place tiles on all these spaces, if you don't do that, if you can't do that by some way, then you're out. That's the game. Another reason, another way to lose is if any of these tiles, any of these stacks of tiles deplete. So if you place a tile and then that's the stack that you placed it from is gone, completed, depleted, there's no more tiles, you lose the game. The main mechanism here, as I'll flip over these cards, and I always forget what these are called. I'm going to look it over. Decorations. Decoration cards. There's decorations, landscapes, visitors. There's a lot of terms here. But the main mechanism of the game is you're going to set up the game as usual with some extra things here for solo player, but then you're going to be drawing a decoration card for each stack of tiles. Now, I'll zoom in a little bit here. You're going to set up the game right here. The center tile as usual. You can place it in any orientation. Doesn't really matter. The goal on each turn is to be able to place a tile in the correct position along with the card, where the decoration, wherever it can go. By that I mean I can place this tile here, let's say. If I place a tile from that stack, I have to find a place for the accompanying decoration. So in this case, birds. And I have a spot for birds right here because when you start the game, you have essentially a spot for everything except for fish. But then I would just take a lotus. Is that oh, it's just birds. You're going to hear me mess up that a lot. But then I would take these birds and I'd put it where I could. If I can't place the decoration, then I can't place the tile. You have to be able to do something with the set right here. So with the card and the tile, you have to do something with it. That's kind of how you play. That's kind of the turn structure. Once you place a set of tile, or a pair of tile and decoration card, you then discard the opposite side of the board's tile, but you bring it in front of yourself because I'll get to why in a second, but you would bring it in front of yourself, and then you would discard the decoration card. And then you would draw the top tile on each of those stacks. So when I mentioned that the game will end up in a loss if you deplete a stack, that's why you want to kind of balance where you're taking your tiles from, because if you deplete this stack is going at the same rate. So you want to kind of move about the area to take from different stacks. The game also comes with these tiles here. I'm going to bring up the guide because I'm still, just by looking at them, I'm not I forget what they actually mean, but I know what they do. The solo game comes with these solo tiles here, and they let you do things. So this, and you can only use these once per game, with the exception of this last tile. But this first token, you would flip it over, and it would allow you to just place the tile. So in this case, let's see if I can find is there a good case for it yet? Right here. So in this case up here, there is a garden tile, which I could place right here, no problem. But then I would have to place a fish, and there's no place here or on this tile to place a fish. So I couldn't place this tile unless I come down here, I flip this tile over, then I could place this tile, and then in the same fashion, I would just discard this card. I would also, just like a normal turn, other side, discard this card and discard this tile. So that's kind of a way to cheat the system a little bit, give yourself a little extra time to play. This token, you would flip it over, and then you will discard, you would discard all 4 of these. Discard all 4 of these decoration cards, and then just draw new ones. There's no rhyme or reason to how you redraw them. I just put them out left to right. I kind of go clockwise, so. And then that's that. So once you do that, you can't do it again, but it's a good way to, if you can't place any of these decorations or combinations of the two, you can kind of discard those cards. Now, this tile right here is take a tile from the display. When you place a tile, again, say I place this tile here, I would discard the opposite side's card and tile. Well, the tile I discard will come to me in what's called the display. And this tile will allow me to use any of the tiles that I accumulate over the quote-unquote like discarding of the tiles I didn't use. So it's a good way to use those tiles again. I'm just going to put this back so I remember. So then that is basically taking a tile from the display. And then, last but not least, this reuse lantern, you'd flip it over and you'd use one of these again. So easy peasy, just do one of these again. So you have a chance to do one of these twice. And yes, Croco, I agree. It's a puzzle for sure. And it's, at first I wasn't, I'm a guy that likes to play solo games to learn the game. And while this kind of has a way to learn the multiplayer game in this, I think it's far enough removed where it's almost its own game, because you're not focusing on the set collection or even the player boards, because the multiplayer comes with a player board that when you place decorations you get to move up on the player board and thing. That mechanism is completely gone, so you're almost playing a separate game where it's kind of like two games in one. It's definitely a puzzle for sure, and it can be punishing, but we're to get to playing. So in Tabletop Simulator, it has a cool thing where you put points on and it keeps track of how many coins you have, so I kind of like that. But you start the game by taking the starting stack of 6 starting cards. And I'm going to flip both over. You choose... Oh, what the hell? You choose one to keep in front of you, because at the end of the game, all of the visitors that you accumulate, if you are able to get to the end game, as it were, you then place your visitors out and score points as they do. So, and then the one that you do not choose goes out on the board immediately, and they just hold a place. They're not there to accumulate points for any AI or anything like that. They're holding a place, just taking up a spot where you could put a visitor. So, a little bit of strategy in that, but right now you're kind of just looking at these two and trying to figure it out. So, to start, we have to choose from the Architect and the Poet. And there's no, even though there's bonuses, or there's visitor powers, you don't worry about them in the solo game. You're only worrying about the site preference, as it's called. So, the Architect is looking for 3 points, that you get 3 points for every icon on a landscape that looks like this. Kind of like 2 buildings side by side. And the Poet is going to give you 2 points, max 10 points, for every water tile or water feature in her line of sight. So let's see if we have any out there already, but we're kind of looking for this icon here on these tiles. And where those show up are kind of over here. So they would show up right here. So there's actually one. I kind of see it right there. Actually, is that the right one? The one problem with this game, even physically, is kind of how it just, yeah, so that's the same thing. Is the icons are a little tiny. So there's one right there. So basically, the more of these icons in the same landscape he sees, you're gonna get 3 points per. That's not that bad. What we can do before we even start the game is see what's available to us, and if there's a chance of getting more when we put landscape tiles out. So I don't see any on these 2 tiles, but on the large tile, I do see one right there. So there's potential to get 6 points already, just if I am able to place a landscape tile over here that has that icon. I like that. She's also nice because it's a simple, every water tile in front of her up to 10 points is good, but it's tough to have 10 points because you need a water tile. You need 5 water tiles in a row, which can be tricky if you're not keeping track of it. So I'm gonna keep this Architect. So the Architect just goes in front of you with, I believe that's the Architect. No, Merchant, blah blah. Architect. Gonna come right here in front of me. The Poet's gonna be discarded, and the Poet is gonna go out on the first spot. Right there. And again, just taking up a place on this on the board. Then I would take the remainder starting cards. I mix them with the other 6 cards, shuffle them up, and then you draw 2. In order to get more visitors in this game, you have to accumulate points. So every 10 points up to 30 points, you will get 1. So when I score 10 points on this mat, I'll recruit one of these two. And then the other one goes out on the board, draw 2 more. And then on 20 and 30 is also when accumulate another visitor. And again, at the end of the game, once you have all the tiles laid out and you're good to go, you will place the visitors that you accumulate in the spots that you want them to go, and hopefully score you some good points. I think we're good to go. That pretty much explains it. And also, any questions in the chat, feel free. I'm starting the game right now, and I'm not sure if there's a rewind feature, but just kind of went over some of the features of the solo mode. And again, the 2 rules I got wrong were this. So I recorded this last week as well, and I took it down because it wasn't a good representation of the game, because I had just gotten the game physically, and I missed a rule. But placing tiles. When you place tiles, all sides have to match. And I thought only one side had to match. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that rule. And then the other one I had is when you accumulate 4 of the same landscape tile, meaning token, meaning these things. When you place a tile on these, you get these tokens and they go in front of you. When you accumulate 4 of the same, you can discard all 4 to then remove a feature from the board, basically opening up a spot to place a new decoration. What I did in my recording was I removed it from the board, but I kept it nearby, and then I used it again. But you remove it from the game, meaning it cannot be used again. So minor rule thing there. I did win. I believe I would have lost due to all the tile placing, but we're going to try to get it right this time. That's my goal. My goal of this game is to get it right. So let's look at what we got going on here. We have a water feature and a bird. We can place both of those because I can put water here, and there. Oh, and also one more thing. When you place a tile, unlike the multiplayer game, you'll get coins. You won't get coins when you place them. When you match stone wall or stone path and stone path, but you get a coin for matching terrain types. You also get an extra coin for closing a feature. So let's get into that, knowing that. Place this, but this rock gives me another opening for a rock feature here, which is nice. I also have a greenery tile with a water. I can't place these 2 because I can't place this fish anywhere. Here I could use this, and this is a nice one because it has these borders you can place anything next to it, and it counts. It doesn't count towards closing the type, but it just allows you to place something that really can't go next to it. So I could place this combination of both, which would give me... It would let me do that, which is nice. I might go with that because I like placing the fish, and it still leaves the this open for potentially placing this tile. So I'm going to start out by doing that. So I'm going to take this tile. I got to figure out where I want to place it. I can really place it anywhere. I'm going to place it here. And let me know if the music's too loud. I think it should be an okay volume, but never know. I'm actually going to place it here. I think that's kind of what I want to do. I'm going to place it there. Because these 2 terrains matched, I get a coin. Got out of here. I didn't close the terrain because it's still technically open here. Until something else is placed here, closing it, that's still there. And then I have to do something with this fish right here. So I'm going to discard that. You don't keep the cards in front of you. You still discard the fish. And you have to put it out there, and it's going to go here. You don't get any points for it. It's just kind of part of the mechanism. Now, because I placed something on this from this pile, I now discard the opposite side's stuff. So that goes away. And then this tile comes to me. And this is called the display. And the only way I can use these tiles that I collect here is with this token here. So eventually I'll be able to use one of these tiles out of turn, kind of. So, and then we just flip the new tile over. That's a nice tile. I like that already. And we now put out another decoration card to it. So the way I do it is, that's good actually. So the way I do it is, there's no order, but I put the first decoration card where I placed the tile from, if that makes sense. So because I placed the tile from here, I put the first card there. There's no rhyme or reason to where you put it, but kind of stick to it. So I immediately like this combination here because I like this building. What this building does is it gives you a point for putting it out there. It gives you a point for every water feature that it's touching, and then obviously it'll give you another point for closing a water feature. So it's nice. I do like. So, and I have a place for this bridge. This bridge can go here on this bridge. What I don't, so I could do that, but I also got to take note that this pile is now one tile less than these piles. You're trying to keep track of that, but we're far from worrying about that right now. I believe what I'll do is, I want to do something with this, but I can only put it right there. I think I'll still do that. So I'm going to place this tile here. Now I get 1 point for the water touching. It's not closed yet. It will be. Spoiler alert. I'm going to put that right there, but not get ahead of ourselves. And then I have to place this bird card, this bird decoration out. And I have a spot for it right here. I'm going to do that. Bird. There. Discard this card. Discard the opposite end. And then bring the tile that I didn't use into my display. Right there. And now we flip these over. We go flip. And a flip. And we're going to draw 2 new cards. Alright, so now I kind of want to use this one here, because it's going to give me some extra points here. It's going to give me 3, in fact, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to place this tile, because I know I can place both of these. There we go. I can place this tile, and I can place this bridge, so let's do that. I'm going to put this right here. So I get a point for placing it. Let's take care of that. I get a point for each that it's touching. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that, Tetheria. I get a point for it touching another water tile. I also get a point because this now closed this water feature. That's some big points right there. Now I have to do something with this bridge. So luckily I have a spot right here for the bridge. That's the bridge icon. And you would simply discard this card. Take one of these bridges. I'm going to put it in this direction. I don't think the direction of the bridge specifically matters. I'm just putting it across the water. Because I believe you can place the guest in any orientation. The visitors that come out. So even though the bridge is facing this way, I believe you can face them anywhere. Just like you can look any direction when you're on a bridge, I guess. So yeah, we're doing that. Because I placed from here, I have to discard this card. This tile comes to my display here. And I flip over these tiles. Make sure I did it right. And then flip over these cards. More fish. As a quick check-in, we're going to check out what I'm looking at here. So I have a bridge tile with a birds decoration. I have no place on here for birds. So if we zoom in on the board a little bit, I only have spots for rock features or fish at the moment. So over here, I have something I can't use, but I'll go through it anyway. This tile is a rock feature with a spot for a visitor. So this symbol means you can put a visitor there. And then this peach tree needs a garden for it, or a garden tile, which I don't have out. I don't have available because these birds are taking it up, and they're not flying away. And then we have a rock feature tile, meaning I believe pavilions can go on this. And then peonies, flower, which goes on a wilderness tile or a garden tile, which is taken up. But then over here we have a feature for on the rock. It can hold a guest and it can use a fish. So basically I can only use these two. Well, I can only use this one by the look of it. Yeah, so we're in a situation where I can only use just one. I could use these tiles. I could use these tiles right now. I could use any of these tokens. Again, I'll put the guide back on. Using this token will let me flip will let me use just the tile and don't worry about the decoration. Discard the decoration cards completely. I can take a tile from here, and then this one I won't use yet because this lets me reuse these. So it's too early to use tiles, so I feel like I will have to next time, which is what I'm trying to figure out. So I like the idea of placing the fish out. I can also close off this rock wall to get some more coins. I'm going to do this. It's probably a bad move, but again, that's what you do when you talk to yourself, and it's live board gaming is what that is. When you might make mistakes. So I'm placing this rock feature out. It's touching this one, so I get 1 coin. And because it closed off this area, it's 2 coins. I'm up to 7 coins. 3 more coins, and I get to welcome another guest to my garden, as it were. And then, because I placed this, I have to place this fish out. So, these fish can go right there. And then I get rid of this peach tree. This tile comes to me. Flip these tiles over. And I draw these card for each. Alright, it's not that bad. It's still, so flipping it onto the guide to check my tiles, because you can kind of hover over to see what you have. I have 14 tiles here. It says 13, but it's not counting the one on top. And I have 11. I have 12 over here. So 14 in these two, 12 in these two. You have to keep track of these things, because if you start to deplete a stack too fast, you could get into trouble. Let's figure this one out. I can place this combination here. It's kind of in a rough spot, because I want to place these tiles, but I keep depleting them. I keep picking from these sides, and it's not the best. I'm not a big fan of this tile either, because it doesn't give you anything. It doesn't let you put anything on it. Whereas this one, I can place this combo. I might discard the... Yeah, I'm going to discard... Since they're all looking for these, I'm going to Oh, but it's not... I only have 1 spot to place something. You know what I mean? So this is... If we look at all the tiles here, this one belongs to a visitor, which these 2 belong to visitors, and then the only spot I can place something is here. So I need kind of... I need something else. Like a pavilion card. So what I'm going to do, as I hunt for said pavilion card, I'm going to use one of these tiles. It's going to be this one. And I can also place any of these too. So I could just place this tile out and be good with it. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? I'm going to do that instead. Forget that. I'm going to use this token here, which lets me put one of these out. And I'm going to put a garden tile out. I'll put this one right here. And I get 1 coin for matching. Now I don't have to do anything with any of the other stacks of tiles. That was just me out of turn using that tile. This token lets me flip it, and then that's it. Now I basically have spots open for pretty much anything, which is kind of the goal. So I like this because, oh no, I don't want that. I want probably this. It gives me access to another bridge. It helps me deplete these stacks kind of at the same pace as these 2. So I'm going to do that. And is there a water? Yeah, so there's a water I can attach it to, because this is considered water here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this cube away. Again, these cubes don't do anything. They're just blockers just to show me where I can place tiles. I'm going to put this here. It matches, so I get 1 point there. And then I get to place these birds out. Birds. I picked the fish up. Birds could go right here. Bam. So this goes away. I'm still collecting tiles here in a display because this token will let me use any other token, and I might want to use it again on what I just used it on, if you will. Flip this. Bam. New card. So, okay, we're looking pretty good. Next, so again, I'm close to be placing something here. on the landscape, which I do want because my architect was looking at these tiles, especially this one. So that might be the way to go. And what, I need 1 coin? I need 1 coin to welcome a new visitor. I can place this set. I can also place this. This won't... I can get some points, so I can get my 1 coin here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to place this tile out. It's not going to be a landscape. It's not going to help me get any landscapes, but it does match all sides. I get 1 point, which will let me get my visitor. We'll get to that after this. And then I have to place this wisteria. I'll place that here. I'll do this cleanup, and then we will figure out who we're going to welcome to the garden. And you only welcome them if you win the game, so it's kind of a kind of an interesting thing. Like, hey, hang out here until I have this garden built, then you can come look at it, alright? These aren't bad. These aren't that bad. Well, they're kind of bad. So, we did that. We did the refresh, and now we have 10 coins. You don't spend the coins to get these people, these guests, but we do get to look at them to pick. So this is one of the starting guys. This is the Hermit, and he gets 2 points for every rock tile in his line of sight, up to 5. Then the Officer, I'm gonna have to check the board. I'm gonna check the rulebook really quick. The Officer, gain 1 coin for each icon on the active landscape, regardless of type. Okay. So that's a potential of some serious points. I like the Officer, so I'm gonna keep him. Back to the board. Because I like the idea of making me want to build the landscapes to then have him look at all the icons he can. So that's going to be the play. I'm going to keep the Officer. So the Officer comes in front of me. And then this Hermit is discarded, but he comes out on the board. And you can place him in any spot you want that's available. There's 2 available. I'll just put him right here on this bridge. Doesn't matter what way he's facing. He's just taking up a spot. No big deal. So now I have the potential to place this Officer and this Architect out at the end of the game. Now we're back on to my turn. And there's really only one thing I can do from looking at these tiles alone. Looking here, I can only place a rock feature and a bridge. I don't see any of those decoration cards. The combinations, I can only place this one here. It's fine. I will do so with this. I'm gonna place this here to get some tiles going. So I'm gonna place right here, meaning I get to take this token in front of me. I'm gonna place this out and match rock to rock. I'm gonna do it this way. This border can match anything, which is good. I don't get coins for it, so it doesn't match anything. It's just there to say that I can kind of place outside of the normal terrain. So I don't get a coin for it, but I get to place a large landscape tile, which are over here. And I know from the Architect, he wants to see these icons out in front of him. So I got one. And when you place these tiles, you place one where you want it, and then you place the other one that's with it on the opposite side of the board. So, sorry for the camera shuffling, but I'm going to place this here. I'll tell you why in a second. Place this guy here. I then place this one in the same spot, but on the other side. This goes there. The reason why I did that was there's already this... Well, did I mix it up? I messed it up, didn't I? Yep, I did. Rewind. Oh, Tabletop Simulator. You old so-and-so. There we go. You go there. I want you to go here. And here's why I did that. The Architect is looking for these symbols. This yellow one. And I believe he gets 3 points per. Yeah, he gets 3 points per one of these icons that he's looking at. So, in a perfect world, I'm putting him right here to look over here. And then that's kind of how he's going to go. So, I did that. We're going to redraw the large landscape tiles. Draw 2 more. What else we got? What do we see over here? Kind of a weird look, I know. Get some dragons, a little building. Then we have kind of it's like a waterfall and then another building, so nothing crazy. Nothing that the architect wants. So we'll do that. And did I draw the cards? I did. We're good to go there. Let's see. Oh, I didn't draw this tile. Oh, then I had to place this out. I got ahead of myself. So we're going to place out these flowers right on the tile that I drew. Put out there. And then we're going to discard these things. This tile comes to me. The reason why I kept this token, as I mentioned before, if I have 4 of the same token, I can cash them in to remove something, one of these decorations from the game. Which basically, it now opens up a spot for something else to be placed where it was. Which is a cool mechanism. I like that a lot. So we flip those over. Nothing too exciting on what we've got. But now we have now we got our first pavilion, which I do enjoy. Because we have a spot for it. Now, we have 12 and 11. So we're not doing too bad. We're kind of depleting the piles at the same pace, which I kind of like. I'm gonna place this pavilion out. I think it's kind of the right thing to do. What I was meant to do. And I might just do another landscape tile, maybe? This could be bad. No, do I have a rock? I can't close off any rock feature. There's some water here, which I could get a point for, which I think I'll do that. Or, hold on now. I could also put it there and get a point. And it would also close the water feature. I like points, so let's do that. I'm going to do this. Oh, didn't mean to pull that one off. Get out of here. I'm going to put this one here. Got some water here. This can go here because it's a kind of a place anywhere type of tile. So I get a point for being next to it, and then this closes that water feature. So I get 2 coins for doing that. Bam. Now I gotta place this pavilion, which there's a spot for it right here. So what just came up is pretty exciting. Although I can't really use it except for here. You're placing it next to rock, so it's basically the rock version of this blue thing. So you get a point for placing it and a point for each rock feature or rock tile that it is touching. So that's happening sometime. And it came with another pavilion, which there's no space for. I only have spaces for bridges right now. That's kind of a bummer. I think I'm going to be discarding some decoration tiles, I believe. I can't place this decoration anywhere. Or this one. Or this one. Or that one. So, I'm going to use my tile to discard all the decorations. I'm going to collect all these up. And say goodbye to them. I'm going to put them out in clockwise order. Just because. And I only have places for bridges too. So luckily we have a bridge here. I don't think we have a place for it though, because unless I'm misreading the rules. Well, no, it can go here. We can go here. It's fine. I'm not going to get any decent points for it, but I'll be able to place the bridge, and any rock feature I place next to it counts. So let's try that. I'm gonna put this here. I don't get any points for putting it here, but alright, I get 1 point for putting it there. And then hopefully I have some rock tiles to put on the side of it. Be nice. So I'm gonna discard this card. Well, I gotta put the bridge out first. The bridge will go. Yeah. Put this in front of me, this tile. My display is growing. these cards go away. And let's see what we got going on here. You might hear a dog bark in a second. It's no big deal. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. This is an interesting setup here because I'm faced with using these again. So I can place this out, but again, I am at 12 tiles here and 9 tiles here, and I kind of want to start using these other tiles, but I can't. No spot for them. So I'll try to get some things going here. I'm kind of backed into a corner, and I don't want to use this tile yet, where I only use the tile. So let's do this. Gotta place this guy here. I get a point for it touching this, and a point for completion, because that completes this side of the tile. Then I have to place this flower along with it. So I'm at 14 points. I need to get to 20 to get my next visitor. We do that. This is going to go away. Come back to me. Here we go. We got some fish here, but again, it's almost all too late. No places for these. Kind of, yeah, we're definitely into a corner here. Oh, and I get to place this, is there something under this? Yeah, it was this short, yeah, it was this. I get to place a landscape tile. A small one, which is over here. I get a better look at these. I have a waterfall, a deer, and that. I do like this because it gives me more icons for the officer to look at, which I have. I'm going to put that over here, I think. Doesn't really matter, I guess, because it's going to go on either side. So, put this tile here. One will then have to go here. And I draw 2 new ones. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this game right now because we're kind of in a rough spot because we have no place for these pavilions at all. Because the tiles that even come with them don't have anything. Like this one is just a rock. It gets me a coin, which is nice because it's already completed. I can't place these at all, so I might just have to do the place only the tile feature, which is interesting. And I'd want to place it from over here, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just flip this over. Bam. I'm gonna place just the tile, which actually will help me get some good points. So I'm going to put it here because this will help me. I get 1 point for the garden matching and then another point for it completing it. So that's 16 points. 17. Counter was a little bit off. And then I discard these just the same as if I had played it. And then flip these over. Yeah, we gotta start using these piles a bit more because we only have a very few tiles. So seeing the game in person, you get a little bit more of an angle as to how many tiles are left. But here you don't see how high each pile is, which is kind of a limitation. But again, the beauty in the physical game is you can't duplicate that. It looks gorgeous on a table. So out there, I just put out a space for. Oh, this one was already on there. So I have a space for one more flower to go, and I want to use these tiles here. So we'll do it. And that will be this tile, I believe. So I'm gonna do this. Not there, but here. Oh, I can't do that here because it's blocked off. I'm gonna put it here instead. Because paths are matching is fine. I couldn't put that there because of the path. All sides have to match. I don't get any points for that. Was that a smart move? Sure. I get no points for it. But then I get to place this tree out there, and that's a thing. I mean, that's not a great tile. Not a great tile at the moment. Not what I need. Do I have a place for a bridge? No. That's kind of all I can do. Is place this combination of tiles. Can't place it there because it doesn't match up. Okay, that's the plan. So then I'm gonna place this. What kind of a tree is it? Pine tree. You're a pine tree. Come over here. Got a spot for you, right there. And then this goes away. Bridge card goes away, and this tile comes to me. And again, I've already used all of my solo tiles. I just have the one left that lets me reuse one. From here? Yeah. These cards are kind of killing me right now. So I have no place for these pavilions that I can see. Overview of the board. The only place I have for something is nowhere. I have all these features kind of in there. So I might have to reuse these tiles because I can't place these two. If I place that, then I'll be able to place a pavilion, which is nice. That might be the play. I'll explain in a second. So this will get me a coin, but I can't place that. I can't place this tree, these flowers anywhere. But if I place the tile, I like this tile because it gives me an option to place these down. I might do that. Oh. Let's do that. So I'm going to use this lantern to reuse the place tile only. Or do I want to do that? Or can I? Maybe I'll put something out from the display. What does this do? How's this look? That's not good. Not even there. Okay. I could place this out. That would give me a rock feature out there. Then I can't place. Yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to use it actually to take from the display again. So now I can't use any of these tiles again. Which one do I want is the question. Probably gonna be this one. Can't put this green one anywhere. That would give me a point or two. And matching paths don't do anything for me. But I can put this one here. And that would get me a point and actually it gets me. No, it's still open. So I get 1 point for matching water. I get to place a large landscape. Let's place that large landscape. Let's look at it. So over here I got, looks like some sort of business dragon, a waterfall, and something else. So I'm gonna, because I'm focused on these two guys right now, and I can only get one more person, I'm gonna put these on this side. And draw two more, and hoping there's... Oh, these are kind of bad. So, oh, I mean, it's dragon and a deer. So the dragon, I'm going to put them over here because what I'm looking for is more of the yellow icon here. And then I did that. And that's all we need. That's all we do right there. We got the things. Now we just kind of go back to where we were before. So what I did is I put this out here, got me that coin, and I have now a spot for the rock. Checking these tiles. Still, how many do I have on? 7 and 9. Okay, so we're only a couple off. I'm going to place, like, I'll place this one out. Again, I can't place anywhere that would get me points, which is, I kind of did this to myself with this tile here, but could do that, but I can't place the flower. But it's got to be somewhere where I can place this. I can do this, but that doesn't open anything else up for me. I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to place it. Decisions all day. I'm going to place this here. Match up the stone. I don't get any points for it. Oh no, that's not. I can't do that because it's not matched. That's not stone here. Felt like a good move. Put it here. Stones there. Bam. So nothing. I don't get any points for that. I then have to place this pavilion, which I now have a spot for right here. And then this card is discarded. So is this one. This tile comes to me. Actually, it doesn't really matter anymore because I've already used all my tokens, so these tiles can actually be removed from the game because I've already used all my tokens for the solo game. I'll just do that. Put these away. Now we're flipping. Finally got a little fish tile out there. It'd be nice to put a fish with it. Oh, if I just put it over here. That's no good. Oh man, I think we're gonna lose right here. You might witness a very early loss of this game. I have a place for a flower. Yeah, this is it. Because so I have a place for all I have for spots to put stuff is a flower. And this is kind of the game. And this is kind of what I like, or this is kind of what I don't like about solo games is in this game you have to place everything here before you score. So let's break it down, and I'll tell you why I might click this button up here that says flip table. So here's a combination. I can place this tile pretty much anywhere. It matches. It'll match a rock over here, but I can't place this pavilion because there's no spots out here for a pavilion. Literally the only thing I can place is something with a flower. Oh, wait a minute. The sun shines through because I have this right here. Oh my god. Why did I think I was out? Oh my, almost clicked this button. So I can place this just fine. Everyone calm down. Everyone in the chat, please, quiet. So let's do that. So I don't know why I thought maybe I missed something, but I can place this combo because I have this tile here. We're gonna figure out a place for you, and it's gonna be right here because this gets me 1 point for connecting the water, and it gives me another point for closing the water. So now we're gonna welcome another guest here after this. Yeah, thank you for quieting them down. It's rowdy in the chat today, especially at lunchtime on a Wednesday. Shush. All All right, and then we got to place this wisteria. Luckily, there's one more of those. That's going right here. Boom. That goes away. Wham, bam. Not bad. So now we're going to do these cards here, and then we're going to welcome our last guest. And I should have, when I placed the guest at 10 points, I should have drew 2 more guests. That way I kind of had like an advantage as to what I should be looking for. And this pairing is actually pretty interesting. So let's go to the rulebook. The Emperor and the Empress. So the Emperor, I get 5 coins for each dragon in the active landscape. I know there's some out there. The Empress, gain 9 coins. I believe it's 9, but the card says 10. But we'll go by the rulebook. Gain 9 coins. If either the Emperor or Lady is in the Empress's line of sight, lose 3 coins for each. So something weird's going on between Lady and the Emperor and the Empress. So like the Empress is onto her. Something is going down. Whether it's the Emperor and Lady are doing some stuff, we don't know. But the Empress doesn't want the Lady and the Emperor in her sight. Otherwise, bad stuff. Line of sight is just in the straight line of tile. So you don't want that. Which easy to avoid. We do have some dragons out there though. I have a dragon here. We have a dragon, I have a deer there. Oh dear. And what else we got going on over here? No, okay, so I like the Empress. So I'm gonna don't need a spot for her right now, but I'm gonna keep her because I like 9 coins. Even though it says 10 here, I'm gonna go by the rulebook. It says 9. Unless I lose, then it's for sure 10. But keep the Empress over here, and then the Emperor gets discarded, and I have to put. I believe that's right there. Monk. Emperor gets to go somewhere. I'll put you. You're not scoring this person. He's just kind of there. I'm gonna put him here. All right, we're actually back. We did it. So I thought that was a for sure loss. So now we're good to go. We're back at it. Pulling up the guide here, we have 8 total tiles here. It says 7, doesn't count the top one. And then 8, so we are even, which is okay. Good. We're not depleting one pile more than the other. Let's go. Keep it going. I can place water things now. Then that's it. Which is okay, I guess. I don't like this combination of tile though. I can place these 2, it's probably what I'm going to do. Because I don't like, I already have plenty of spots for people, so I don't really need this, and the water I like to keep open for other things. So, I'm actually going to do, that's a risky move. Let's do this. I'm actually going to place this one right here. Because this matches, so I get a coin for that, and then because it closes, oh no, it's not closed, so I just get 1. Just get 1 coin. It's alright. And I have to place this tree. Is it Magnolia? Here. Bam. Nailed it. So we get rid of this water feature. This tile's gone. Bam. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Firewind. Do appreciate that a bunch. Okay, we're still moving here. We got some stuff. This I can't do this because I don't have a spot. Whoop, I don't have a spot for this bridge. I can't do this tile. I can do this tile. I just can't do what's connected to it. I'm looking for something that has either fish or a pair that works in conjunction. BBG, appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the virtual gaming con. How dumb is it that I chose to do a solo stream during a game convention? Can you imagine walking around a convention and just seeing a guy like, listen, you can't, players not wanted. Viewers wanted. So I apologize. But this is kind of a make good, like I said for last week. I had done the same stream and I got a couple rules wrong, so I'm just doing a make good. But the rest of the streams we're doing this week for the con are going to be you can join as you want. So we'll get to those in a little bit. I think I'm going to be placing this here. And it's going to go right here. Because, come on. These match. and it closes the garden. So I get 2 points. Who's excited? Me. So then we're going to place this. Is that a pine tree? A final pine tree. Placed. So now we get rid of this card. This tile. Flippy-doo. Flip. Philadelphia. There we go. I can place... So now we're coming into a problem here. I've now switched from using these 2 tiles, these 2 stacks more. Now I'm using these 2 stacks more. It's because of what's available. Like I can place both of these. I can place both of these. That's just the game. So I have 6 total here. I have 8 here. I want to be able to place these though. So it's... I have 2 bridges left. Both of my peach trees are still there. Yeah, so I want to get some landscapes out there, so I'm gonna do that. I know what? I know I'm depleting these piles, but that's gonna go there because it matches the stone on all sides. This peach tree will go on there. I don't get any points for matching stone paths. I believe you do in the multiplayer game, just not in the solo. This goes away. We'll flip them. That's a cool one. It's a place for somebody. Another... it's just making me want to go to these spots. And so we just took a small landscape tile, so we're going to go do that. Did I take the Emperor? Oh, I took the Empress, so it doesn't really matter about dragons or anything right now. So I'm just taking these tiles and kind of putting them anywhere. Let me just look at what we got going on here. There's no icons that go with the people that I need. Actually, what's... Sorry about the camera again. It's, you know, tabletop simulator. We have the... Oh boy. So we have the late... Once we get to 30 points, we're going to be deciding between these. This guy's looking for garden tiles in his path, and then she is looking for sunrises and sunsets, which are not on any of these tiles, so it's not our worry. I'm going to put these here. That's that. Then coming out, we just... Oh, we have another yellow tile, which will go perfect here for the officer. And there's a deer, which... Whatever. So... Shit, get this camera back in order here. So now we have... Again, we're stuck in a situation where we can't use... We're out of tokens. So I can't do any mulligans or anything like that. And I can't place these tiles. Because I don't have spots for these pavilions. That's what it comes down to, is... There's no spots out here for pavilions. I only have a water spot, and that's it. So I can only really place this tile, which I don't enjoy. But I do enjoy big landscapes, and that's the option we have in front of us today. Let's do that. What do we have for big landscapes again? I just want to make sure we have a deer and a dragon. Go here. So we'll try. This is where the puzzle comes into play, because you're kind of putting yourself into a corner, because I'm forced to use this stack, but I can't deplete a stack, otherwise I lose the game. I'll put this here because rock wall matches. I then have to take the willow tree that comes with it, put it out, which is, it's available. And then I'm going to discard these. I also took my third big landscape, which I'm going to grab from over here. I'm going to put on both of these sides because they're nothing I'm looking for my visitors. And I'm concentrating on the ones this side over here for right now. Boom. And these two come out. I'm hoping it has something that I would need. So that means... Oh, what? Why are you flipping over? Oh, why are you flipping over? I like this tile here. My goal is to get this big tile, because this guy's looking for it. And then once I have 4 of the same landscape token, I get to kick something out of the board, which would be perfect for what I'm dealing with right now. So I get to remove one of these things from the board, opening it up for something else, which I might have to do next. So we'll see. Find out after this. There we go. Oh, it's still not good. It's still no good. Yeah, I'm forcing myself to take these tiles, but it's in order to get this token. Because I have to get rid of one of these pavilions. So I'm just gonna have to do that. It's just, that's the only way. I have an idea. Not really. I lost the idea. But I have four here. I have, oh yeah, we're gonna be cutting it. Let me cut it close. But I want this big tile. I want this thing. So I need to place something right here from these piles. I can place either. I'm gonna go with this because it has something that I can add on to later. Like it has a tree that I can, or a flower that I can put here. I get nothing from matching anything, but I do get this last, these big landscape tiles. So these are gonna go. I already have a spot for this one ready. It's right here. This one's gonna go right here. And I have no more to draw, so that's fine. Now, because I have 4 of the same tokens, I can choose to discard something. But actually, I got ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Let me place this flower out. I'll discard this, and I'll explain it one more time. This is kind of a weird rule, but it makes sense once you explain it. Now we have 3 tiles and an 8 over here, so I have to work on this side. So as I was saying, I have 4. Part of the rule of the game is if you ever collect 4 of these tiles, these tokens, and there's only 4 of each type when you play solo, you can discard. You can basically cash in 4 of these to then remove something from the board, from the game. So I had a rule wrong last time where I removed it from the board and I placed it back on the board at a different time, but I can't do that. It's going to be removed from the game because there's limited trees, limited pavilions, all things like that. So all of that said, I would like to cash these in right now. So I'm just going to put them over here. Consider them cashed in. I want to be able to place some of these tiles. And it's got to be one of, I'm cashing those in, sorry, to remove a pavilion from the game. Do this. Get out of here. Get out of here. From the game. So now I have a spot for a pavilion, which is nice, and it's got to be one of these 2. I'll do that. This one is a good one. Let's place this one. Take this out. Because this lets me get a small landscape, which I'll get to in a second. But it's a completely enclosed rock, which gets me a coin. That's good. I haven't been making a lot of coin lately, so let's make that happen. And then I get to put a pavilion from the box into play. These are discarded as usual. And go. Both willow trees, and I got 1 left, so this is good because I want to at least be able to place these, so this will be a good thing. Oh, and then I get to place a small landscape. Small landscape tile coming up. So we have two to place, and then we have 2 more. So, oh, what in the heck? I want this one because it's what the officer is looking for, and I'm dead set on putting the officer in this direction. So he's gonna go here. Let's go do him right there. Then I want this tile over here because I mean it has to go there. So when you place a tile here, you place the one that's connected that was with it across the same spot. So now I have our last 2 tiles here. Pretty much, I want the officer facing this way because he gets. No, I want the architect facing that way because he gets 3 points per icon, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those there. So that's the plan. And then that's my 3rd icon. I do like this. If I place another one here, I think I screwed up here because this is looking for garden. I don't think this tile even exists. So even if it comes to a point where I have to mulligan and like cheat, I might just do this. If that works out, but I had it like this. I'm gonna lay in the bed I made right there. For now, I'm gonna do. This is kind of a so I definitely want this tile because I want to be able to remove something. And there's plenty of spots for people to stand. I got a spot here, both pavilions, so I don't need this tile at all. So I'm going to place this guy. But where's the question? Gotta be rough. Gotta put this here. As well as the willow that comes with it. I need to do that though? Yeah, I do. For sure I do. This gives me some points here though. It doesn't close it though. I can't place that there because there's a stone wall there. That's kind of a rough one. I could place it here. There's no such tile that lets me do what lets me complete that, so that's gonna be tough. We'll go with it. I'll take that. I will put this willow on this spot. Discard. And discard this tile. So now I get my fourth set of these, and there's really nothing to look at as far as what I'm looking for. Sorry for the zooming in. So it's nothing that my guests are looking for. So I'm going to just put them out randomly. Here. Oh. And yes. That's that. Again, I think this tile is going to be one that kills me, but we'll see. Then we're going to flip these over. We have 6 tiles here. We have 3 tiles here, so we still have to continue to go this way. We still have to try to pull from these piles as much as possible. I can with this, so that is very good actually. This is a good tile. I'm going to go with this. I can tell you already. Well, maybe. Gets me points, but this is this spot is so bad because it's going to be looking for. I don't even know there's a tile that has garden on all 4 sides like that, or on at least 3 sides. So we'll see. I do want to pull from these spaces here. But where is the question? Where should I do it? This is good because this can go here. Now when you, I don't even have, there's no willow. Is that a wisteria? There's a wisteria here. So the wisterias are gone, so I can't even place this because there's no more wisteria tree. So, even though while that's a good tile, that could help things out, I can't use that decoration that it came with. That's where I find myself. So, I don't want to use those yet. So it's gonna be this one somewhere, just somewhere. It can only go really here. Nope. I just want to see how it looks here. Nope, can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there. This tile can't even go anywhere. Oh no! So I think I may have found a kind of a flaw here in my moves because this tile can't go anywhere because it's trying to touch rock. But even if it does that, it still has to touch garden somewhere, which it can't. I think I'm forced to use one of these, which is not a great move because I only have. Okay, there's 3 tiles here, so. As the music plays, I start to lose confidence in this game, or in the game that I'm playing. I can place any of these tiles. No, I can't. As the music taunts me, I wonder, what have I done with this game? So I doubt there's a place. No, that's a bad spot for it too. Yep, that's what we have to do. So we're gonna have to do this. I know there's no tile that can help me with that. There's really no way to know until I see the tiles. But Let's do that. And then I'm going to place this bird. Yeah. That's not a bird. Did I have a spot for a bird? Yeah, right here. It's really no good. It's a different game every time, I'll tell you that much, because you never know how the tiles are going to come out. And this might... Nope, that won't help. I'm going to have a problem placing tiles here, which is fine. That's how the game goes. And then we'll just do this. So, that's that, and I have I only have 2 tiles left here. I have 6 tiles here, so it's gonna be a rough end. But we're gonna plow through this because I've been taking a while. This would be nice if it could work. That would have been perfect. What's going on, Iron Spy? Yeah, I mean the art is. If you see the art here, it looks just like this, pretty much in the real game. It's awesome. I recommend it. I've only played it solo, so it's a crushing solo if you get the wrong tiles. It's definitely a puzzle, but the game is obviously beautiful. It's just about the tiles you can place. So let's go over the tiles that I can place. So here, I cannot place this anywhere because it needs to match a certain. It can only go where the red cubes are. I have 4 moves left. There's no garden. I can do this, right? Nope, can't do that. So mind. This is looking for garden and garden on both sides. 4 stones on both edges. I can't do that pretty much anywhere. This can go here. But then I cannot place this wisteria. So that's the problem is I have a wisteria tree here, but I don't have one anymore because they're already placed out. Now these tokens, I could take these and remove something from the game, but I can't remove the wisteria and then put it back in the next turn. It's gone from the game. I do believe, I'm gonna check the rulebook on that. But so I can place a tile, I can't place a decoration. Here I don't think I can place this one. Because it needs water on all sides, and I don't have that for sure. See, it needs water pretty much on all sides, which wouldn't work where I need to place it, and I have to match all sides on the thing. So I think that's it, unless the rulebook tells me different. I'm going to check the rulebook real quick on the... may spend to return... Oh yeah, so return any decoration to the game box, so it's not reusable again. So that's kind of it. I lost, quote unquote. So I didn't, in order to win the game and to be able to score points, you have to be able to fill in this board. So I needed 4 more tiles to go in the right places, but I can't. So that's kind of how you lose. But in order to win, you need to fill this whole thing in, and then you would put these characters out. For fun, let's just say I did win. So put a big did not win sign starting now. Let's say I won. I would then count up these points and then place my guests out in spots where it's beneficial to them. So this officer is looking for just icons on the board, or icons on these landscape tiles here. So each landscape has a bunch of tiles. Can't really see them, but they have a bunch of icons on them. So he's going to get 1 point for every icon. So I'm going to put him probably facing this direction, which is going to be... I can put him in this thing, facing that way. So he would get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So I'll just take 1, put 1 here. So that's scoring the officer. The architect wants to look at these icons here, and there's a bunch of them here. So I have 1, 2, 3, just 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's not one. That's a different one. There's one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want him facing that direction. So I'm going to put him here, facing that direction. That gets me 12 points. And then last but not least, this Empress. It says 10, but the rulebooks say 9. She's in 9 as long as she's not in the same line of sight as the Emperor, who's here, or the Lady, which is not is not out. Is there a spot for her? Yeah, there is. Emperor is there, so I'm going to have her facing somewhere else. You got to face this way. So she'll get 9 points. And my score would have been 54, which is not good. You're supposed to get another guest, and then they would give you more points. So I didn't win the game, but I had some points here. Total score is 54, but if you want to see how the game is scored, you look over here, and once you have placed all your guests, it kind of gives you a scale. And I had 54. It needs 60, so I'm not that great. But regardless, that's the game of Tang Garden Solo. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you give us a follow on YouTube or Twitch, we'll be streaming some more this week. And hopefully you guys have a good virtual game con. I cannot wait to be playing some more, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you.